I genuinely think that men and women do spend money differently, and I would love to say that it's not the case. However, I feel like women are always a little bit more particular when it comes to spending than men are. Like, men who budget usually just budget for the bare minimum, whereas women are often far more detailed and a little bit more comprehensive when it comes to factoring in things that they want to include in their budget. Every single person that walks this earth needs an emergency fund. I do not care who you are, what you do, or how much money you earn, you absolutely need an emergency fund. However, that amount of money that is going to be in your emergency fund is going to be really different based on your personal circumstances. If you are young and at uni, you're going to have significantly less than a single mum who has 3 kids who might have far more unexpected costs. So an emergency fund is usually maybe about 3 months worth of expenses. What is it going to take to put food on the table and a roof over your head? And that's where you should start with an emergency fund. The best way to maximise your superannuation is 1, making sure you don't have a number of unnecessary funds, and 2, making sure your risk profile is actually in line with your goals and values. So many times I talk to young people who go, no, my super's doing fine, and when I ask them about the portfolio they've chosen, they have absolutely no clue. When we dive a little bit deeper, we realise that maybe they wanted a growth portfolio, but they're actually in a conservative portfolio, which at the end of the day actually has different performance allocations. So it's important to understand not only that you have a super fund, but also what that super fund is made up of. If you're in debt, don't let debt spiral out of control by taking out another debt product. Go back to the drawing board, understand how you got there in the first place, and then create a plan with either an avalanche or a snowball method to get out of debt quick. In all honesty, I'd probably head to Chanel. However, that's not a good financial decision. But what I would do is go back to what I'm trying to create over the long term and pick a location that puts me a few steps ahead. If I'm currently working on a share portfolio, potentially I would put it in that. If I'm working on renovating my house and investing in property, it might go to there. At the end of the day, I wish I could tell you that there was one holy grail investment, but unfortunately that isn't the case, and what we need to do is make the best decision for our own personal circumstances. If you're just entering the workforce and you finally found your dream career, or even just a grad job that you know will lead to your dream career, the most important thing to understand is a thing called lifestyle creep. And lifestyle creep is something that happens to literally all of us, and that's where our expenses increase as our income does. It is so exciting when you get your first real big paycheck, but what we want to do is make sure that we are not blowing it all away on things that we think are going to make us look wealthy. What we want to do is put future us first and talk about saving and investing and making the most of it, instead of letting those small expenses creep up, and instead of buying makeup at the supermarket, we go straight to Mecca. If you're in the middle of your career, you have a mortgage, you're sending the kids to school, and money seems overwhelming, the best tip I can actually give you is this too shall pass. The important thing to understand is during your mid-30s to mid-40s, it's going to be the most expensive period of your life. And I say this because this is when debt compounds. It is when you have the most amount of expenses, you have the most amount of insurance premiums to pay, you're probably wanting to upgrade the car. And the most important thing here is actually understanding what we're working towards in the future instead of feeling really overwhelmed with it. If you're close to retirement and you're wondering what you're going to do because you're maybe not in the position you wanted to be in, the best thing I can say is get financial advice. Not everyone wants to hear this because it can feel overwhelming, it can feel quite expensive, but at the end of the day, we need to understand where we're going and what we have to achieve that. Because retirement is big, it's such an exciting period of life, it shouldn't be something stressful, and retirement looks different to everybody. You could want to go and rent a yacht and sail the Bahamas for your retirement, or you could just want to spend more time with the grandkids. Both of these things have significantly different budgets allocated to them, and your job is actually to find clarity on the income you need to achieve to live the life you want and get advice that puts you in that position.